Hey, it's Coach Anderson here from Mississippi Public Broadcasting Online, U.S. History from 1877 to present. And what we're going to do is pick up, of course, with Unit 4, the U.S. becomes a world power, Lesson 6, the summative assessment on that imperialism. Now, in looking at the United States of America becoming a world power, understand something. A significant portion of your test in terms of the benchmark, of course, and also your map assessment may, in fact, have a lot of these questions that we're going to propose to you in a few moments. In addition to that, we're going to go over the unit focus question, of course, and remember what the unit focus question was supposed to be about. It's about guiding your thought process as we go through those lessons, of course, and as you're going through those lessons, you should be formulating possible answers, of course, to those unit focus questions. We'll start with the unit focus question today. It says, why did nations around the world, including the United States, seek to gain colonies around the world? Well, imperialism is about colony building, about getting colonies, and the biggest reason for colonies is for markets and for getting, resources. So industrialization created need for new markets for abundant industrial products. And if you took over a place or you gained took over them as a colony or a protectorate, you as a country could send your products into that country to be sold without having a tariff to be paid. In addition to that, industrial nations like the United States decided that it was their responsibility to spread Christianity. It was what we call the white man's burden. If you remember earlier on, of course, in the end, we talked about Rudyard Kipling, and he wrote that book. The one book that you most probably familiar with is the Jungle Book, but he had this idea of the white man's burden. And he said it was the responsibility of civilized nations like the United States of America, Great Britain, France, Germany, for them to civilize the rest of the world. By introducing them to Christianity. The national ego played a role in colonization as nations sought control of other nations to bolster their standing in the world, and nations needed places around the world to act as a refueling station and resupply areas to maintain their navies. And the United States of America does so, of course, by taking over places like Puerto Rico, Guam, Philippines, Hawaii, the Mariana Islands. So when you look at all these different places throughout the rest of the world, that was some of the reasons why the United States of America got involved, of course, in colony building or imperialism. Why did nations around the world, including the United States? And once again, what we want you to do, of course, is to create this chart. So one of the activities we want you to do is a culminating activity. And what we want you to do is create a chart project identifying how the United States, Great Britain, France, and Germany and Spain started colonial empires throughout the world. The project should answer the questions of how, why, where, when, and questions for each nation. Students should consider the use of a table format to complete the project. And once again, what we've done, of course, at the end of the unit, we've created a rubric for you and a chart for you, and all you have to do, of course, is go in and fill in the blanks, of course, that are provided. And once again, once you finish it, complete it, turn it into your teacher, of course, and your teacher, of course, will give you a grade. And remember, make sure that you adhere to the directions that you see in the rubric, and of course, what you see here. What we want you to do before you do anything else is we want to take a real quick American imperialism fact test. And the only thing it is just a list of facts, things that you should know right now based on what we've talked about with imperialism. And once again, these questions range from what primary motivation for American imperialism during the late 19th century. We'll answer that one for you. Was it A, a desire to expand democracy worldwide? B, the need for new markets for American goods? C, a commitment to the end of colonialism in Asia? A reaction to the isolation policy in Europe? Well, the answer, of course, would be B, the need for markets for American goods. We just went over that. So once again, we're not going to go over the answer to these questions, but what we want you to do is to go over them yourself and then submit those, of course, to your teacher, of course, to be graded. And once again, the answer key for all of these activities, of course, you can find at the end of the unit in the reference section and the reference slide section. So with that, what we've done, of course, is try to give you some insights about American imperialism, of course, and the Spanish-American War, and how the United States of America got to the status of becoming a world power reluctantly because of the interest of two men who made a whole lot of money telling a whole lot of fibs to a whole lot of people. That would be William Randolph Hearst and Joseph Pulitzer. With that, once again, you don't have to take my word for it. This is Coach Anderson from Mississippi Public Broadcasting Online. Remember, it's America's history, so it's your history. So do your own research, draw your own conclusions, and we'll see you next time.